on to My Hero Academia, Chapter 236, Tenko Shimura, Origin 002.
Yo,
So this was sadder than the first one.
like for real.
I felt it more now. I still don't like really agree with the first shit, but like the way like everyone else went out, um, I kind of felt it. Minus like the dad. The dad he basically admitted it was on purpose, but I was like, oh yeah, that kind of sucks. That's a shitty way to discover your power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
No, that was hardcore. I was just more surprised about like how graphic the deaths were. Like, I'm trying to like imagine the anime, and if they actually animate all these panels, like holy crap, it would be one of like the darkest episodes in Boku no Hero.
I swear
Like,
the anime makes this more like gives you more feels than the manga does. Like if I rewatch some of these scenes, like the Lumillion shit, like that, I'm gonna feel that. But like, I feel like niggas are going to feel it way more in the anime because you know now you have like the music in the background, like they can really set the stage. You
yeah,
feel me? Like versus now where you're just kind of like, all right, well, yeah, I guess that happened. Like they can add the dramatic pauses, they can make it longer. They really got freedom with this. So yeah, I agree.
That's one thing that kind of confused me though. I felt that when he touched people, they turned into dust instantly. Seems like with this, they're like, it's almost as if there was like some invisible samurai slicing everybody up into pieces.
Mm.
I think that's like his quirk developing over time. So like his quirk is about decaying or whatever. So it's like, hey, maybe the first time he uses it, it just kind of breaks you apart and you kind of just like fall apart gross like. But as he gets better and better, you get dusted. Because I know even when he used it against what's that nigga name? Eyeball homie.
Eyeball.
Yeah, the guy who can stop people powers.
Oh,
oh,
Eraserhead.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Eraserhead. He used it against Eraserhead. Remember when he like touched his elbow and it just kind of made Eraserhead skin fall off? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just cracking. Yep.
So
I
yeah.
mean, no pun intended on the Dustin though. uh, the other question I had was like, and maybe I'm going too deep into it because it is a shonen, but like going off of what happened with Toga like earlier in this chapter and how they talked about her quirk being or not earlier in the chapter but earlier in this arc, like they talked about her quirk also kind of affecting her mood. I didn't know if they were trying to go that same route with Tomura with like the whole itching thing. If they were saying like he's basically a villain because it's like also a part of his power. Like his power is making him have this need to like decay certain shit, and then it's also making like exacerbating like his hate for things. Like I didn't know if that's where they were trying to go, and he was like dropping the seed with the toga thing, or if I'm just reading too much into it, and it's like this nigga just like killing motherfuckers like that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, it makes sense though, right? I mean, this has been like a pretty enlightening arc in general, just regarding with quirks and like people's personalities and just like who they are and how they grow. So, I mean, F around. I mean, though I don't think we should blame it completely on the quirk, but I could definitely see that as far as like his, I mean, if you want to call it his sanity low key decaying as his power matures. And he just wants, everything to be as effed up as what's going on in his own head.
Yeah.
So I guess if you think about it that way too, that makes this like even more sad. Like, damn.
But then it still triggers me because I go back to the fact that like he was told this, but didn't really know any of this happened. You know what I
That's
mean? Like
because
the
that's
feelings aren't
because
necessarily there. He kind of like blocked it all out, and then All for One kind of was just like, "Yeah, you killed everybody." You know?
yep. That's
I don't
because
know.
I
I just watched The Lion King, y'all, so it's.
well, well the thing is
I'm getting
the thing is
simple, bro.
what you're saying is more or less going into what my theory is. I think that all of what we're seeing is actually what's basically a memory that All for One placed into his head, making him believe that, yeah, this is what actually happened to your family. I can basically place it into your brain and in a sense or another create the reason why you're, you know, the fucked up guy that you are today. But in actuality, we're going to find out at some point later that somebody else killed his whole family and he ended up getting kidnapped and yada yada yada, and the memory was just erased from his head.
See, but the only thing that I don't agree completely with that theory is just why would he be just remembering this now? You know, like how did well, I mean, I guess they could technically explain it later, just using retrospect with the All for One's power. But I mean, if that was the case, then why not just literally have him remember this memory as soon as, he met him? You know what I mean? And they started talking. Like why would the delayed effect be necessary of him just remembering this now?
I'm not sure. Hell, for all we know, maybe he only memorized little bits and pieces of it, and now it all finally came together.
Hmm. Who knows? I mean, I do still agree with the fact that that like something is still under All for One's like control, because I mean I just see him as like the ultimate mastermind controlling every single piece of the board, and we're just waiting to see the whole reveal of how he put it all together. I mean I still believe that low key, but I mean seeing this was just like, damn, this is just a whole bunch of sadness and just graphic like violence, and it was like it really, I didn't see this coming. Long story short, like this was this was more like a horror anime chapter than anything else. Like I was surprised even like Shonen did it this far. To be
It would have
honest,
been a great first chapter for if Tomura had a like side story, like or his
Mm-hmm.
own manga. Like that would be a great intro first chapter. Just like yo, boop, killed all these niggas. Like that's it. But one thing I also want to bring up is like you see how his power like traveled for his mom.
Yep.
Like he didn't actually touch his mom, so he was able to kind of like, even though they're making it seem like a new move now, it's like he low key was able to do that shit a while ago.
true.
Exactly.
Oh, that kind of remind me with vigilantes where like well, the main character, he technically could glide the whole time,
Yeah.
and he just has some childhood trauma that made him forget it. So, like, maybe this is kind of that nod, which would actually make me feel better because I was hating the idea that quirks can get stronger, even
Yeah.
though they kind of already stated like quirks don't get stronger. So this actually makes me happy because now it's kind of like, hey, we weren't lying. They don't get stronger. These kids just forgot what they could do.
Yeah.
So did the dad also on top of that? Did the dad grab something or materialize that? I'm trying
No,
to.
he grabbed something and smacked the shit out of him.
Oh, okay. So it was
He was
he
trying
did just
to
grab
live.
it. Okay. I thought maybe his quirk was like I could materialize this random like
Well,
claw. I'm like, what a shitty way to introduce his dad's quirk and then kill him right afterwards.
hey, but wouldn't that be a lit parent quirk? Like I can materialize belts at any point in time.
Ooh, that nigga is straight whooping ass all day,
Nope.
bro.
That is not the household that I would have grew up in.
Yeah,
Hey,
no, it's a
just
wrap.
don't bullshit in that household and you good.
Every time you try to throw a belt out, just got another one for your ass, bro.
Start blocking with one hand, materialize it in the other hand. Pop.
Like when you were a kid or whatever, you about to get your ass what they like, found me a belt or found me an extension cord. You try to make sure you try to take as much time as possible, hide everything all over the house and shit. Make sure they can't find it. But no, this parent ain't never saying find me no belt. They automatically get it and own your ass.
And
I gotta get this last joke off though before I go into the last serious point. So like, where's the dog paw at though?
True.
oh wow,
Shouldn't he have a dog's paw like
wow, stop.
somewhere
You're petty.
on his
Wow, that took me a hot
Yep.
second. I was like, what?
somewhere on his body? He definitely should have a paw of a dog somewhere,
He keep
bro.
it. He keep it in his pocket, man.
Wow. It's low key a keychain after all.
God
Yep.
damn,
You know,
whoopity
like
whoop.
like how some people be having a rabbit's foot hanging from their neck or whatever.
Oh
That's,
yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
smooth dog, Paul.
And
But then my serious point on this would be like another thing that I got from reading this was like when I take a step back and look at it as let's say this was like the real world and quirks were real, like this happens way more often than not. Because you know how many pissed little kids like could awaken some broken ass quirk and just do this shit by accident because they were mad. Like you know the times that you had them temper tantrums and you was like,
yeah.
oh, I hate them or whatever, and then it's just like boom, like what if that actually turned into some bullshit and really killed them? Like
I
that
don't
would
think I
fuck your
don't
whole
think
shit.
that was what happened.
You said what?
I said I don't think that would happen as much as you think because like so far, like I said, every now and
Oh,
again this
the quirk,
nigga kind of what'd you say?
the goofy quirk theory, or
Yeah, it's
not
like
theory,
they
verb thing.
basically tell you most quirks on the world are trashed here.
But what if you had the quirk to just turn niggas into balloons, bro?
I mean, I get would I
That's
probably have
goofy, but
murdered
it'll
my
still
parents?
fuck you up.
I would probably murder my parents, but I'm thinking like there's less
Bakugo?
than 1,000 cases worldwide every year,
You,
guaranteed.
I'm just saying, temper tantrum with Bakugo, bro. You hit that kid the wrong time. You like stop, boom, just blow your hand off by accident, bro. Like, come on. I'm not saying like maybe the whole
Accident.
family dies, but just like minor or major
Uh,
incidences of like kids just accidentally awakening quirks,
imagine
fucking shit
imagine
up.
being Bakugo and masturbating on a warm day, hands
Wow.
sweating.
Wow.
No,
Really?
done. Well, we know that's what happened to Dobby, bro. We already know that shit happened to Dobby, bro. That nigga was like, whoa.
And now after he burned his dick off, he don't give a fuck.
Oh,
uh,
at that point, you've fully opened your third eye, bro. You have
Yeah,
nothing holding you back.
there's nothing in the world that can hold you back now.
You free.
That nigga was whacking off, and Deborah came in busting in on him.
uh,
Busting at the same time.
oh my
They
god.
It
both
was like,
flamed
well,
up at the same time.
and that's when he was like, well, I gotta run away.
Make it stop.
Yo, the
Y'all ready to rate this one, or is there anything else y'all wanted to bring up?
nah, that was pretty much it. Sad chapter, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I would give this close to a decent hell. I'd probably say a decent as hell minus maybe. Like I think as far as like the chapter itself goes, um I feel like I get Tomura's motivations. I'm still iffy on the fact of like how much he carries this necessarily because he pretty much blocked it out. But I would say if like now now I'm assuming we're like living this as he's living it. So after we go back to the main story, he will have like understood what he did. So I'm expecting to see a interesting character shift from Tomura. Hopefully some maturity. So I would give this like decent as hell minus. I thought it was interesting. I liked what they did. And I like Lumillion, not the same level, but I still felt like what was going on. I was like, damn, like he's really fucking it up. So since it gave me the feels, I gotta give it a decent as hell minus.
Yeah, I definitely did not have the same feeling effect as you. I'm gonna give this shit a decent trash.
Yeah.
If this is not a fake memory of his. If it is a fake memory and my theory comes true, instantly bumping it up to decent as hell.
So you basically riding it on a theory, man.
Yep. Because it just doesn't make sense. For example, I don't know. It just seems weird that he would have shattered everything except for just their hands. It all just points. It's just a lot that makes more sense for me that this is a fake memory instead of something that actually happened to him and created the person that he is today.
Hmm.
Like, for example, why did All for One happen to run across him after all of this happened and everything, instead of like the cops or neighbors and all this shit or random superheroes? A lot of it just doesn't make sense. So decent trash.
Damn. Uh, this is a tough call. I mean, I don't know. Man. I'm going to have to probably give it a decent as hell. For the simple fact that it was, I mean, like to me at least, it was so out of left field. Like it was again just one of those chapters that you don't see coming, and it used that surprise factor to hit you down deep. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, I still like partially in my head like have Gramps theories going on as far as like this being a fake memory, but I mean, this was a hardcore fake memory, man. There's some detailed stuff. Like he dismantled his family. And it's not like from the start when he was doing it, he was like already, super psycho, just killing people to kill people. I mean, he was going through something. And that hit. And like just like imagining the anime episode, like bruh, like if no one like reads this and just like is watching the anime and like be like, oh man, what was gonna happen? Like little kids watching this show might be getting nightmares after this chapter. Like that's how hardcore I think this is gonna be in the anime. So I just got to give big ups, like just to the author and artist with this one. This hit me.
Yeah, I probably gotta give this a solid lit. Um, and I'm gonna talk it down a little bit, and I'll tell you the reason why. But a solid lit, and the reason being is because one, I like world building. I like the story and stuff like that. And I think that it kind of adds to like this like Deku foil. Like that's kind of my theory is that Shigaraki is Deku's foil, which is gonna end up in Deku being all for one son. And I think it like if you look at some of like the images they use, like this dude kind of really looked like Deku, like how he always crying and shit like that. Like that nigga look real soft just like Deku. And then at the end where they got like the close up on his face where he like, holy shit, I'm about to kill my daddy now. I just killed everybody else. He kind of got like a reverse look at how Deku looked when he was kind of like crying like a little bitch. When he was like, oh yeah, I want to be a hero like All Might. And I thought that's kind of cool because like he's crying and shit. Like I don't know, I just think it's kind of cool if they go that route. If this turns out to not be like Deku's foil, then this would like be like what? Why are you doing this then? So, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a lit, but I gotta take it down to a lit minus because I kind of want to just see what the fuck Deku is doing. So it's got to be dropped down to a lit minus for still being about villains after like 20 chapters.
I'm just
And
waiting to see Hawks get dropped by Best Genius, bro.
Right?
And
I
Bakugo.
forgot about that.
Where that team at? Where that tag team at?
Hey, show that nigga why he definitely not number 3.
Damn.
Oh man. You know he's not killing Best Genius, bro. He can't. If
Yeah,
he did that, I'm surprised, bro. They Lemillion, go ahead, take your spot.
Gil a million, his power's back already.
Yeah. Maybe that's a discussion for the bigger podcast.
Yeah.
Whether Lemillion getting his powers back. I lie. We probably should say that shit till the anime niggas finally experience the greatness of
Mm-hmm.
Lemillion.
Wait till it's trending.
Yeah.